Hello, this is Nicole. Today I'm going to talk about a famous animation in Japan, Astroboy. Direction is confrontation between human and robot. First of all, here is an introduction. Astroboy was originally Japanese manga written and illustrated by Osamu Tezuka. Then it was adapted into three anime series produced by Mushi Production and Tezuka Production. The anime starts with an accident causing to Dr. Tema's son Tobio's death. To recover the trauma, Dr. Temas creates a robot based on Tobio's appearance and endows 100k horsepower strength and 7 powers to him. After admitting this robot is not his actual son Tobio, he discarded the robot and sold it to the circus. Professor Okonomizu discovers it and takes it as his own, and treats it gently and warmly. He names it Astroboy and creates father, mother, sister Wuran for him. Then Astroboy is always trying to defeat the evil power and establish a friendly relationship between humans and robots. The next session is about a confrontation. So I will go deep and talk more about the analysis and some examples from episode 1 about how does the confrontation form. It basically comes from the question about the treatment to robots. Should a robot be treated like a product or a human? I separate the analysis and examples into three parts according to episode 1. First one is about Dr. Temas. As we all know, he is the creator of Astroboy, but he is also the person who discarded Astroboy. When he realizes Astroboy cannot grow and permanently remains young Tobias looking, he admits the fact that Astroboy is not an actual human, but he also refuses him to be his son, and even saying that he is a product which can be sold to anyone.
やだそんなのやだ
お前はもうこの人に売ってしまったんだ。
僕を売ったのそんなひどいことを
ひどい？お前はロボットじゃないか。品物だぞ。品物なら売られたって文句はないだろう。
Normally, humans are more advanced because of not only the intelligence but also humanity and emotion. Robots, which commonly belong to technology, they rarely have the empathy and emotions. Astro Boy, from the video clip, we can see that there is a switch of the characteristics between human and robot. Astro Boy is begging and showing his sadness and anger after knowing himself being sold, which shows more humanity as a robot. However, Dr. Tama, a, an actual human, becomes cold-blooded and emotionless, which which is not commonly showing as a human. This is the first confrontation between humans and robots, but illustrated on the perspective of a family. During this conversation, the director inserted a moment of the purchaser reaction which is quite interesting. This is it is his evil grin, which means that while the conversation, the purchaser is chuckling with an evil smile. This means that the life in the circus will be another challenge and a big confrontation to Astro Boy from another perspective which more related to the society. In Circus versus Professor section, product and life concept becomes more prominent. This is the main confrontation between humans and robots happens here. Hamek, the circus owner, versus Professor Okonomizu, the new head of Ministry of Science. The conflict between them represents the two opinions of robots crashing together. For example, Hamek represents people who think robots should be treated as products. And Professor represents the people who think robots have life as the normal human do.
もう見性られん。君は一体何という残酷な真似をさせているんじゃ。君はあんなひどいものをこういうのまんまへね。兵士ロボットだって生きてるんだぞ。まるでこれじゃローマンの兵士ローマンの闘技場だ。奴隷を死ぬまで戦わせるあれと同じじゃ。
Professor is the only one person who stands out and opposes Hammack's behavior. As a scientist, he believes that robots made by humans have the life as well as freedom, which should not be treated as the slaves in the Roman Colosseum and the products today. However, Hammack is a circus owner. He pays more attention to the benefit of holding this show. He serves for humans, so he cares more about audience's reaction. Therefore, he thinks there is nothing wrong to make this show cruel and violent if audience want to. And the following conversation is it starts from the question that made by a professor. He asked, "Doesn't anyone feel sorry for the robots?" The owner answered, "Huh, sorry? It's still brand new." Professor asks this question because he thinks what Hammett and audience are doing is lack of humanity and never treat the robots as the living things. Hammack answers the question, but based on what he believes. He says Astroboy is brand new, so there is no worry or anything sorry for him because he thinks the professor is doubting the quality, the component, and technology issues inside Astroboy's body. He treats Astroboy as a product, so he thinks Astroboy is new enough to handle the power and attack. And because he treated it as a product, so he thinks there's no necessary to feel sorry for the robot. And now here's the final section about the humanity. This section it relates to the scene that after Astroboy is saving his owner out of the fire.
何度も言ってるでしょ。アトムは私のもんだぞ。私を助けるのは当たり前だ。いやがアトムは君の命の恩人じゃろ。それに。いや私がロボットに礼を言わなきゃならないんですか。どこの世界に自分の品物に礼を言う人間がいるんですか。あんたはアトムに恩を着せて俺から引き離そうって言うんでしょうが。そうは問屋おろさんぜ。
Astro Boy saves him because he has the empathy and emotion which is not as sophisticated as humans. He saves him because of his instinct telling him that surviving is better than anything. Hammack actually knows why Astro Boy saved him, but he refuses to admit the innocence and purity inside the robot. Or he doesn't want to face the dark side of his humanity, which is uglier than the robot's humanity. He wants to own Astro Boy forever so that he can pretend and convince himself that he is powerful although he doesn't have the real power. And this explains why he has such an exaggerated reaction as he watches the news of providing rights to robots. Here are three influences from this animation. The first one is the first and top one anime series in Japan, and its audience rating is number one still now. The second is it decreases prejudice of watching animes. Before Astro Boy was shown, adults thought animes, TV shows, comic strips are harmful to children's education due to the distraction. Finally, console people's fear and panic from the Hiroshima bomb. This relates to the true historical event in World War II. People were into panic and fear from the unknown danger and influence of technology science brought from the bomb. Therefore, Astro Boy somehow recovered people's trauma and give them a comprehensive and objective view of science. The confrontation between humans and robots is also a reflection from the people's opinions to science and technology.